Now, this is a very interesting documentary. It is an interesting way because not only does it look at pop punk and Fat Records, but also we get to see puppets involved. What inspired the usage of puppets?
So in making this film, you kind of face a challenge in that there's not a lot of visual material to tell the story, and we kind of wanted to keep that DIY aesthetic tied into how the film looked. So one of the musicians that we spoke with, Jenny Cotterill, you guys want to talk about meeting her?
Yeah, Jenny Cotterill, she's in one of the bands on Fat Records. Her name is Bad Cop, Bad Cop. She's a phenomenal artist, and when we were trying to decide what type of medium that we wanted to present the narrative stuff for the backstories, it just made complete sense. When she told us that she made puppets, it clicked, and Sean Colon, our director, just instantly ran with the idea, and what she produced for us was,
as you can see,
beyond belief. So,
do you guys remember the first Fat record label artist that you guys listened to?
Oh yeah. For me, hands down, Lagwagon. Just Joey Cabe, Dave Ron, drummer, one of my all-time favorite bands.
Yeah. The first Fat band I remember hearing wasn't a Fat band at the time, it was the Descendants. But the first Fat band that really influenced me was Propagandy. The first two records they put out on Fat Records, I mean, to this day, they're still some of my favorite releases. It's kind of the Desert Island albums. You know, if you can only take 10 albums with you to a desert island to listen to for the rest of your life, 2 of the 10 would probably be How to Clean Everything and Less Talk, More Rock for me.
Oh, definitely. Those are 2 punk rock staples.
There you
Those
go.
2, definitely punk rock staples.
That's you brought a guest along with
Yes,
you.
this is Erin. Erin's my date tonight.
She's actually not a guest, she's a star.
Yeah, she's a star. We're actually protecting her tonight. You know, we're the bouncers. So
Now, as a producer, what drew you to this film?
I grew up with Fat Records. You know, me and Justin are both in bands, been in bands, you know, forever. But Fat Records was a huge deal in my life coming up. So when the idea came up, I, you know, of course wanted to be involved in it.
And of course, you have the very unique aspect of retelling scenes by using puppets. And what kind of generated that idea?
We wanted to do animation but couldn't afford it. So puppets were cheaper. And you know, they wound up being a lot better and funnier, and you could do it more. Because with animation, you know, you got to have this section and this section, and it takes a long time. Someone's got to draw it, and paint it, and color it. But with the puppets, we could just be like, oh, we need a puppet farting on his head, and so we could just shoot the puppet and add in the fart sound, and we were done. And so it kind of matched the ethos of the label, which is just get it done. You know, like let's do it smarter instead of harder.
And finally, for both of you guys, who was the first artist from Fat Records that you listened to?
Oh man.
I don't know effects.
Yeah. No. Well. Yeah.
Lagwagon maybe.
It might be No Effects. Yeah, definitely No Effects. And actually, no. Strung Out. Strung Out was on a Vans Off the Wall compilation that I bought at CD Warehouse whenever I was in like 3rd grade.
You see how Chris is showing his young age?
Yeah, and they had
I
a song
can't
on
say
it,
that.
so-
I wish I could say the first band I heard.
I remember it. Well, off Fat Records, I think.
Yeah.
So, compilation, yeah.
Well, Sean, welcome to the Dallas International Film Festival, and it's its 10th festival. How excited are you to be here for your documentary to premiere in the 10th year?
I am overwhelmed with excitement because not only is my film being able to be shown in such an awesome festival done by amazing people, but I started coming to the film festival 5 years ago, and I did 5 movies with my wife, my then girlfriend, and then the next year we did 10 movies. The year after that I had a film pass that was given to me, and after that I presented a film as a community sponsor and got that star pass that gets you everywhere. And then last year I wanted to participate, and the movie was still going. I didn't know if I was going to be able to submit it, so I volunteered, and so I ushered and did the whole thing. And then this year I'm here as a filmmaker, so I have all the badges. So for 5 years I went from in the seat to on the screen.
Have you always been a fan of this genre of music, of pop punk?
Not as pop punk as a general thing, but Fat Records specifically. I mean, they did something with their bands where technical. It's punk rock, so it has that energy and that, like, you know, that aggressive type, you know, music, fast paced. I was drawn to it, but also the lyrical content was really important to me. And like this band, Propagandy, like huge influence in my life, like changed the way I thought about politics and the world, and influenced the direction I had. And So beyond just the music and the camaraderie with other Fat Records fans, I walk anywhere. There's people going to see this and be like, ah, Propagandhi! I can walk anywhere, and if I meet someone that has a Propagandhi shirt or if they see mine, we're friends. It's a mentality thing. It's not just a music thing.
Now, were they one of the first Fat record label artists that you ever listened to, or do you remember the very first one?
The very first one, I think, would have to have been that really opened my eyes. Was a band called Strung Out, and then it's one of those things, like, they had these comps, and you would get these comps, and every single band was good on it. So you listen to it like an album. It was put together like an album, and you'd find out about all these different bands. So it was like, once you found one, because there was this common thread in the music, you almost automatically liked almost every other band. So it was like, for years, all my top 5 favorite bands were all Fat Records.